Hey, Ryan Dice here again, and today is the day that you decide that the machine coaching program is right for you. Now, you've had a chance to go through the free training. In part one, you saw how we used engagement-based segmentation series to generate more sales while sending less emails. In part two, you watched as I broke down each of the 5 phases of the machine and showed how they fit together to strike that perfect balance between revenue generation and relationship building. And in part 3, you were given one of my cherished engagement series campaign templates that you can copy, paste, and deploy in your own business. And if you're like a lot of my students, that deceptively simple little campaign is already making you money. So with everything you've been given for free, you're probably wondering, how does the full program go above and beyond what I've already received? Well, the full machine program is a 6-week advanced coaching class where we go much deeper into the nuances of segmented, automated email marketing. And it'll even show you how you can build your first list if you don't already have one. So if you like the idea of the machine, if you're excited about this, but you think it doesn't apply to you because you don't have a list yet, don't worry, I've got you covered, and a little more on that in just a bit. But here's the big benefit that you'll get when you join today. You see, I want you to have all our done-for-you turnkey customer getting campaigns, 26 of them in all. They're already written, they're already tested, and they've been templatized so that they'll work in any market. In short, once you have these campaigns, building a machine for your business is as simple as copy, paste, send. Now, do you remember the story that I told you back in video 2 of the free training, the one where I literally cried like a baby? It was a Sunday night and my phone rang. And on the other end of the line was my accountant. Now, since April 15th, tax day was just a few days away, I thought he just had a last-minute question for me. But what I soon discovered, however, is that I was actually about $250,000 in debt. In short, I owed $250,000 more than I thought I owed in my on my taxes. Now, I was crushed. Like I said, I literally cried. I felt like an absolute failure. I don't want you to, I'm not telling you the story to feel sorry for me. It was my fault, right? It was on me. The only reason you have a $250,000 tax bill is because you made a lot of money. Knowing what I know now, now I pay my taxes, but then I was irresponsible. I just didn't know what I was doing then. And if you talk to a lot of entrepreneurs, they've made the same type of mistakes. Maybe you have as well. But I was in this situation. I owed this money and I didn't have it. And I don't know if you've ever been in that situation where you owe money and you just don't have it, but it's not a good feeling. So I sat there on the couch, depressed, sad, and fortunately, I just happened to be married to the most amazing woman in the world. And she sat there and she listened to me, which women are great at. By the way, men are pretty terrible, but she sat there and she listened to me. And then after I was done and went on for a while, she said, "Okay, you finished?" I said, "Yeah, I guess." She said, I don't get what the big problem is. You'll figure something out. You always do." And then she got up and she went to bed. And it was exactly what I needed to hear at that moment in time. I needed her to say, "I'm not worried. You'll figure it out," right? And I knew at that moment that I did. I had to figure it out and that I would figure it out. But I asked her then, I said, "Look, can I just have 24 hours? Will you give me 24 hours to mope and feel sorry about myself?" And she said, "Sure, you can have 24 hours to mope." So it was about 11 o'clock at night, and I was sitting there and I went to bed. I couldn't really sleep at all. And I woke up the next morning. By noon the next day, I was feeling better. I was kind of over it, and my mind was starting to turn. And I was thinking about ways that I could generate this revenue. And really only one idea came to my mind that made any sense whatsoever. And that idea was, I've got to run some campaigns. I have to run some promotions. Fortunately, at that time in my business, I had a number of different email lists. I didn't just have one. I had about 6 primary lists in 6 different markets. So I said, okay, let me look at each of these markets. They were all different. Some of them were business to business, some of them were consumer based, but I had these different markets. I said, what can I send these folks that will get them to take out their credit card and buy something? What can I do? And so I crafted 6 different promotional campaigns. 6 different promotional campaigns. I got started about 11 o'clock the next night. And again, I gave myself those 24 hours to mope, and I pulled an all-nighter and I wrote out all these different campaigns. To make a long story a little bit shorter, I woke up the next morning, I'd already generated about $80,000 in sales, and by the time tax day rolled around, I was able to write a check, knowing that there was going to be enough money in the account to cover not just that check, but the taxes that I owed from the money that I generated to cover my tax bill from the previous year. So I was at zero. Now, it was a great lesson learned, but here's the bigger lesson. I never would have been able to accomplish what I accomplished then if I didn't already have tested and proven campaigns in my arsenal that I could go back and repurpose. But they were a shortcut, and given the hole that I dug for myself, I really, really, really needed that shortcut. But that's my story, right? Let's talk about you. Are you an expert copywriter with a background in persuasion and human psychology? Do you have a massive list already that generates tens of thousands of clicks with every email that you send? Do you have days, even weeks, months, right, that you can set aside to craft carefully worded promotional sequences that cause your prospects to buy almost hypnotically? No? Well, that's okay. You don't need any of these things because you have a machine. Again, just copy, paste, send, and your customer getting machine does just that. It gets you more sales, more customers, and more money. And there's no delay because there's nothing to learn. The campaigns are pre-written, just a few tweaks, and you're done. Like I said, copy, paste, send. Oh yeah, and unlike a lot of other training programs, right, you can forget about, you can't forget at all what you learned because this isn't even about learning. Once you have a machine, you have it. It's yours. It won't leave you. It won't forget what it's supposed to do. It won't need to be retrained. Even better, once your machine is deployed, it will continue to work for you day after day, week after week, and month after month, and it never breaks down. That's the real beauty of having your own machine. Machines run. They work. Even while you sleep, they work. And this machine will get you sales. This machine will make you money. Again, copy, paste, send. Now, I don't know about you, but growing up as a kid, my favorite superhero was Batman. All the other superheroes had mutant powers or were from some other planet, right? Not Batman. Batman had toys. Where does he get all those wonderful toys, the Joker says, right? Now, James Bond was the same way. Don't get me wrong, the guy was, dashing and daring, I guess, but without, his buddy Q back at the factory making, money penny, feeding him these incredible gadgets and tools.
Do please try and return some of this equipment in pristine order. Don't touch that! It's my lunch.
James Bond would have been little more than a creepy pervert with a raging drinking problem. So whether you're more of a Batman or a Batgirl, and yes, that was a thing, it did exist, insert awkward photo of Alicia Silverstone now, or if you're more into some kind of a 007 sort of vibe, just think of me as your Alfred or your Q. Okay, Agent 007, here are your tools. In addition to the templatized campaigns that make up the machine, which I'll cover in just a bit, you're also going to receive a 6-module advanced training where I walk you through all the steps to sequence and launch your machine. In Module 1, we're going to cover the core strategies of the machine, including the 3 types of segmentation series and how you can combine them to massively increase your sales, all while sending way less emails. We'll talk about autoresponders versus broadcasting your emails and when you should deploy each. And by the way, with the machine, you'll still be sending broadcasts, okay? Don't believe anyone who tells you that you can drop all your subscribers into one massive autoresponder sequence. We tested it and it just doesn't work, okay? There needs to be a balance there. We'll also talk about simultaneous messaging and when it's okay to send multiple emails in the same day. Now, hint, you need to be very careful with this one. There are only 2 instances where simultaneous messaging can be used, and if you overdo it, you will burn out your list. I'll also give you all my best landing page templates and examples, and show you how you can craft a compelling lead magnet out of thin air by deploying the simple title template. In Module 2, we dive into the machine itself. First, we're going to cover the indoctrination series, since this will be the first stop for your new subscribers as well. You'll learn the secrets of transforming strangers into friends. And you'll get access to the first of many templates that you will receive in this program. You'll see how to craft the perfect welcome email, including how to nicely ask your subscribers to whitelist every message you send so that it shows up in their real inbox, not some promotional folder. Finally, you'll learn the difference between indoctrinating a new subscriber to a brand versus a person. And it is different, okay? Hear me out on this one. In other words, if I want to indoctrinate a new subscriber to Ryan Dice, that's a very different series than if I want to indoctrinate them to digital marketer. See the difference? Neither is right or wrong. It just depends on your business. So that's why I'm going to go ahead and cover both. Now, in Module 3, we'll dive into the engagement phase of the machine. You've already been given the Gain, Logic, Fear campaign series, but in this module, you'll add these templatized campaigns to your collection. There's the mini class launch, which is great and delivers fantastic content that your customers and subscribers are going to love. There's our tested and proven webinar show up series, the Are You Still There and Have You Yet campaign, which is a lot of fun, and the Join Me in Congratulating campaign. Plus, there's also the Where'd You Go cart abandon campaign that's been proven to bump sales 50%. And believe it or not, that's not even all of them. In Module 4, we're going to cover the Ascension phase and how you can use our copy and paste campaign templates to turn buyers into multi-buyers and create that value loop I told you about earlier. You know, the one where customers just keep buying from you over and over and over again, practically on autopilot. But Module 5 is probably my favorite. Now, the engagement and Ascension phases, they get all the credit because they're the ones that make the cash register ring. But to me, the segmentation phase, which is what Module 5 is all about, well, that one's the most fun. In addition to all the training that you'll receive in this particular module, you'll also get access to the flash sale campaign, the survey siphon, which bumps engagement and generates sales, the fake survey campaign template, which, by the way, you need to be really careful with that one. It's a bit like nitroglycerin, right? In the right hands, it's amazingly useful. In the wrong hands, it just blows stuff up. All right, so be careful with that one. And then there's the blog launch campaign, which I've never seen anyone talk about this before, but it's amazingly effective and so logical, but nobody else does it. And finally, the Newsjacker and the Tubejacker campaigns that deliver amazing value to your list plus amazing levels of engagement will all be yours as well. And again, I'm just naming a few right now. Finally, in Module 6, I'll cover the re-engagement series and how you can use it to revive even dead lists. I'll also tell you when you should remove subscribers or move them to a new list and when you need to just delete them completely because it's going to be better off for you and your list in the long run. More importantly, you'll get our tested and proven 15-step win-back series. So deploying your re-engagement phase is as simple as copy and paste. Okay, so that's just a brief overview of what you'll get when you join the Machine Coaching Program. There's obviously a lot that I didn't cover, but if I tried to tell you everything, as much fun as this is, we'd both be here all day. And frankly, I value both our time too much for that. And besides, let's be honest, as great as the training is and as fun as it is to talk about, it's the turnkey, templatized campaigns that you are going to really love. These are the ones that are going to allow you to get your customer getting machine up and running quickly and with almost no work and almost no hassle. Now, this program is set up so that you can go through one module per week, but that's just a guide. You're free to work at your own pace, and even after the coaching program is over, you'll still be able to go back and review these materials as often as you like. You can even give access to members of your team so they can learn these customer getting strategies as well right alongside of you. Listen, if you liked the free training, you're going to love this. But that's not all. Since this is a real coaching program and not just an online class, you'll also be invited to sit in on weekly coaching calls where my team and I will answer any questions you have. We'll help you identify opportunities that you may have missed and help you break through any roadblocks that might have come up along the way. You'll also get to hear from your fellow members and maybe even form a joint venture partnership or two. At least, that's really my hope. We'll also have hot seats where we'll critique some members' machines. It's totally voluntary, by the way, but who knows? Maybe one of the machines I critique will be yours. And truthfully, if this was the only thing you received in this program, it would be an incredible value because there's so much to be learned from walking through actual machines. And don't worry if you can't make one of these calls. They're all recorded and will be posted to the members area for you to review at your convenience. Oh yeah, And if you have a pressing question, you won't even have to wait for the next coaching call. That's because we also have a private Facebook community where you can access me, my team, and your fellow members literally any time of the day. This is a totally private group, right? And it has to be. Because I don't know about you, but I'm mostly on Facebook late at night. So don't be surprised if you get a reply from me at 1 o'clock in the morning. So I only want machine folks in there. This is also where you can meet and interact with your fellow members and, again, hopefully form some joint venture partnerships. It's truly, truly an incredible program. In fact, it's unlike anything that I've ever done before, and I've done a lot of stuff. But I do have to warn you, because this online coaching program is highly interactive, spots will be limited. It just makes sense, and access will close very soon. Now, you may be wondering what the investment will be for this type of a coaching program. Now, before I get to that, let me tell you first that I'm going to offer you a 60-day, no questions asked guarantee. This is essentially a 2-month free look period. That's a full 2 months to review the machine, which is more than enough time, especially when you consider that the bulk of the work is already done for you. Still, if you want out, you can get out. But the truth is, I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think it's going to come to that. In fact, I know there are students out there who have already made more than the investment I'm asking for the machine just implementing the free training you've already received. And if you're in this group, then this is a total no-brainer because your investment has already ROI'd, right? I also know that if you were to hire a half-decent copywriter to craft all these campaigns for you, your cost would be in the tens of thousands of dollars. And you know what? It would be worth every penny. Assuming the copywriter is worth their salt, of course. Because, again, once you have your own machine, you have it. It's yours. It won't leave you. It won't forget what it's supposed to do, and it won't need to be retrained like an employee. Even better, once your machine is deployed, it will continue to work for you day after day, week after week, month after month. It never breaks down. Machines run. They work. And it will work for you while you're traveling. It will work for you while you spend time with your family. It'll work for you while you focus on growing those parts of the business that just keep getting put on the back burner. I know we all have those. It will work for you while you're on the beach, and yes, it will work for you while you sleep. That's not hype. That's how machines work. That's how email works. So what's that worth to you? Well, I actually toyed with the idea of charging $10,000 for the machine and only offering it to a very small group of folks. I know that that will put it out of the reach of most marketers and entrepreneurs. And I'm not just about helping the rich get richer. I remember what it was like when I first got started. The very first month I got started in this business, I generated $250 in revenues from my college dorm room. And you would have thought that I won the lottery. I remember that kid, and that's who I want to help. You are who I want to help. Now, don't misunderstand me. The machine is still my baby, and the campaigns you're getting are like 26 adorable little fingers and toes on that baby. So if you think I'm going to part with them for less than you would pay for a copywriter to craft even a single campaign, forget about it. All right? And in case you didn't know, professional copywriters charge thousands and thousands of dollars to craft a multi-step email campaign from start to finish. And typically it's not going to be templatized so it can work across multiple businesses. Okay. So by now you're probably wondering, what will the cost of the machine coaching program be? Well, the reality is the machine won't cost you anything. This is an investment. It's an investment in you and your business. Also, if you already have a list of any size, and I mean any size, okay? It doesn't have to be a massive list, any size, it's an investment that should pay for itself in less than 30 days. Just implementing 1 or 2 of these templatized campaigns will get the job done. But no matter what, here's how it's physically impossible for you to lose. First, you must be willing to invest $1,997 to reserve your spot, or just $397 if you take the payment option. Now, this covers my time in putting all this together for you, plus it ensures that only serious people apply. Now, all investments have risk, except this one. Here are the only 2 possible scenarios. Scenario number 1, you deploy the machine in your business and you absolutely crush it, right? You're making tons of money. You make a lot of money while simultaneously making your list a lot happier. Or you might decide to go a different route and get paid big fees to implement the machine for other businesses. Either way, you're in the money. Scenario number 2 goes something like this. You don't do anything with the material, or maybe you get distracted, or maybe you decide it's just not your thing. In this case, you're protected by the 60-day free look policy I referenced earlier in this video. Simple. Just drop me a note, and I'll give you a refund. In short, you get a crazy return on your investment, or you get your money back. Now, if you're ready to get started, go ahead and click that button below this video and join me in the machine. Now, because I want this to be a total no-brainer for you, I'm throwing in 4 bonuses that in themselves are worth more than the investment I'm asking for the machine. Bonus number 1 is all about building your list. In fact, in this training, I assume you're starting from absolute zero. So like I said before, if you love the idea of the machine, but you think it doesn't apply to you because you don't have a list, think again. Thanks to this bonus module, you're covered. I got you covered. It's called Social List Building. And in it, I show you how to leverage Facebook to rapidly build a customer list from scratch. In fact, you don't even need your own website to get started. And no, by the way, I'm not talking about building a fan page. I'm talking about real email subscribers on your list. This class could easily sell on its own for $1,000, but for you, it's free. For machine members, it's free. Now, the second bonus is a little bit sneaky. You see, we develop a lot of really cool tricks and hacks here at Digital Marketer that, without exaggerating, have been known to double, even triple our open rates and click-through rates. Used on their own, these sneaky little tricks are truly amazing, but when combined with the power of the machine, they become life-altering. They do. That's not an overstatement. In bonus number 3, you're going to get an advanced class on killer email copywriting, and your instructor, by the way, is no slouch. His name is Perry Belcher, and he's my business partner and quite possibly the greatest living copywriter on planet Earth. Like I said, that too is not an exaggeration. This class was built to train our own internal members, and until now, only our highest level mastermind members, who pay, by the way, a minimum of $15,000 a year, they're the only ones that even had access to this training outside of this building right here. But you, again, you're getting it for free. In the final bonus number 4, we're going to cover email tracking and metrics. No, it isn't the sexiest subject in the world, but it's where all the money is made. And we're also going to give you the spreadsheets and documents that we use internally at all our companies. So your team, you will be using the exact same systems that my team and I use every single day. Again, these bonuses alone are worth more than the price of the machine, but you get it and all of the other bonuses for free. But you gotta move. So right now, scroll down and click on the orange button. After you complete your order, you'll receive immediate access to the machine members area and your journey will begin. And never forget, this is a journey. You see, once you know how to turn subscribers into money, you become a different person. You just do. And I don't know how to explain it, but there's an eerie sense of power and accomplishment that comes from being able to write an email, click send, and watch sales pour in. Ordinary people don't do that sort of thing. But who wants to be ordinary, right? So choose to be extraordinary. And the good news is you don't have to be a mutant superhero. You just have to use the tools that you've been given. But again, you need to take action now and grab these tools. Registration is only open for a couple of days, and once it closes, you won't have another opportunity to get in anytime soon. Okay, this is it. Go ahead, click on the button below, and claim your machine. My name is Ryan Dice, and I'll see you on the inside.